IG
Not
collective.
officially hello, YouTube. We're live now on the YouTube side.
Yes,
What
and
up,
IG.
y'all? So you know what time it is. Reality recap before we get into the mess. Hey, Aunt Pam. Child, not my auntie. Go, Aunt Pam. This one ain't for you, boo. I love you though. Before we get into the mess, let me go ahead and give you guys the actual branding since I've been missing that since we have not been doing this properly the last 2 weeks. So here we go. Not mine because they don't watch this stuff. Anyway, hey. So at the top of the show, we do a little bit of, well, first, this is Black Curious, obviously, Deja, Kendra. We do a little bit of pop culture and talk about things that have gone on over the last couple of days. Honorable mention that I totally forgot. I sent it to Kendra yesterday sometime, but I forgot to put it in the pop culture slides. Apparently, there was some sort of kerfuffle on the back end for the girls over there in Alabama. And what it's sounding like from Kempire and the girl that I found on TikTok, what it's sounding like is that Martell and Marceau got into a fisticuffs. And so
Yes, I sent that to you on IG days ago. I sent that to you on Instagram days ago, but yes.
Did you?
That is the word.
Okay.
Yes.
Well, they got into a little fisticuffs, and so apparently this happened recently. This happened this weekend.
I know.
Apparently her Melody was live at the time of the altercation. Like she run around with the phone in her hand. So strange.
I know.
Like,
Our friend Jamil, who hopefully she'll come, she follows us now on this site as well, or on this page as well. She actually is the one that alerted me to the mess. So yes, I sent it over and just watched it, honestly, because I wanted to know what was going on for today.
I'm like, what? So, like, why y'all boxing? Then you can hear Miss Wanda in the background screaming and carrying on. It was a whole lot.
We'll get there. Go ahead. What's on your slides?
Anywho, so back into the mess pop culture this week. So there's been a bit of a stage beef. I don't know if you guys have been all over social media as of late, but comedians Monique and DL Hughley have been going at it. Apparently there was some sort of mix-up or miscommunication regarding who was the headliner of the show. So let me go ahead and give you this little clip first. Kendra, you might want to unmute so that you can hear what she's saying. The videos are live on YouTube. So I'm going to bring what kind of real is that? That's now. What kind of real attack a goddamn black woman? I'm like, I feel sorry for the Hughley's family. I feel sorry for him. Because how you did up a cow. If you know what I mean. And then took off running on stage. Yeah. No, I was so confused when I saw this video the first time. So I'm like, sis, why are we running like that? Like, what's really going on? So, of course, everybody gets on the good old Instagram to discuss their grievances. So DL posted on his, and now I have to get close to the screen because she can't see. He posted a picture of Monique in, what is this? What movie is this? Where she played the evil mother, Precious. Okay. So he posted the picture of her in this particular movie, and it says, all you have to do is check the order of the names on the ticket stub from last night, and you'll see who's confused. Against my better judgment over the objections of my team and for other occasions, I said no. I decided to take a chance and work with Monique. Oprah was the problem. Tyler Perry was the problem. Charlemagne was the problem. Steve Harvey was the problem. Lee Daniels was the problem. Netflix was the problem. Now it's my turn. At some point, it can't be everyone else. It's you. lesson learned. I didn't have anything personal against Monique. People paid a lot of money to laugh. Not hear about your contract. Apparently, the role you played in Precious turned out to be an autobiographical experience, basically, is what he's saying. Monique had a whole lot to say as well. I'm not finna read this whole long paragraph, but get on over here to the YouTube land so that way you can see it. Child. And other things that have popped up. One of my favorite influencers over in the Instagram space, his name is Guillaume, and he gave me some sad news, and some of you also. I figured I would share it because it's about the food. So basically,
the FDA, along with the CDC and the Canadian Food Inspection Agency, are investigating a hepatitis A infection outbreak in the United States and Canada, potentially linked to fresh organic strawberries, branded as Fresh Campo and HEB.
They were
some of those stores that they were sold at, and you should probably check your strawberries if they were sold at Aldi, HEB, Kroger, Safeway, Sprouts Farmers Market, Trader Joe's, Walmart, Weismark, and Winkers.
Couple of months, I would look into it.
I eat strawberries every fucking day, so
I basically eat them like every day, and this is what he says on the clip. So
it was funny. Somebody on Twitter was like, "Child, we already ate those. Let's move."
I mean, I'm saying, like, at this point, like it's months later. Hey, JP, what up, boo? But it's months later, like not almost months later. We're about to be in June, and we just now hearing about a recall. Like, we just now hearing about a recall on strawberries. What the hell?
And strawberries last like this long. So the strawberries is gone. Either they in the trash or we ate them. On the off chance somebody might have frozen them, that might be a recall situation. But for the most part, the strawberries are gone.
God bless. So anyway, on to the mess. What are you drinking, sis?
I am drinking Sauvignon Blanc by Sun Goddess. That's the Mary J. Blige brand.
Oh yeah, that's good. So I'm still in my spicy margarita streets. I had one earlier today with the cousins. Shout out to them. Hey y'all. We went over to the good Insu Boca, had me a nice little spicy margarita, and this time I have a little homemade version. So what are we doing first?
Love that. These are all, just to be honest, y'all, this is gonna be short because ain't a whole lot going on, and I'm kind of low energy today. So let's just start with Basketball Wives and get that out of the way.
So here's my thing. Right out of the gate, Team Malaysia over here.
Oh, all day.
I am so irritated with Brandy because it's like, girl, if you all are not friends, you're not communicating. She is sounding like she's been living in Atlanta for like the last year or two at this point. Yeah. So why would she know about something so severe happening to one of your loved ones? You know, like.
So I think Brandy's thing, what she was trying to say is, like, we have friends in common. You would have seen it on Instagram. It would have come across your feed, or somebody would have told you, knowing that you were close to my dad. Somebody would have told you that this had happened. But my thing is, if y'all aren't speaking, then what?
Why would I call you?
Why?
Like, that's my thing. Like, it's one thing to send like a text message and like whatever the case. Like, I've done that before for someone that I'm no longer friends with, where I just reached out and sent my condolences. But like, after doing so, it was just kind of like, this probably wasn't a good idea because it wasn't received well because we weren't in communication. Correct. So to your point,
I think it depends on the person too. Like you said, your friend or your ex-friend did not receive it well. Some people would just be like, thank you, and move on. But you know, I think that was her point. Like, you were close to my dad too when we were friends. Like, you knew my dad and you knew he passed through you. There's no way you didn't know. And I just don't think Malaysia doesn't give me that. So, and Malaysia just, like I said, and like she said, honestly, it seems like she has a lot going on. She seems like she's living in Atlanta, and she's here for work. I.e., literally, I mean, the show is work. So that she can get to film this show so that she can get a check because her child's father is not paying, her children's father is not paying child support. So she's like, a check? Yes, need that. Let's go. I will go to LA and rent this 2-bedroom apartment or whatever and be here. Like that's the size of
make
it.
it happen. Yeah.
Yeah.
But like I'm interested to see how this is going to play out for not Malaysia, but for Malaysia and the ex, because I'm like, they were married and all that in California, and I think they started going through the divorce proceedings in California. So like, what is the holdup as to why?
I don't think there's a holdup with the divorce. I think the divorce has been final. I think the issue is probably that he is making less money now and because he's not playing ball anymore. So he probably doesn't even have as much money to give her for child support as he did before. And now he's giving her even nothing, it seems like. But I don't think that has anything to do with the proceedings. It's just what life is, especially being, an ex-athlete. But yeah, I just think Brandy gets on my nerves because it's getting on my nerves because it just feels like she thinks that the world rises and sets off of her ass, and we're going to get to somebody else like that later down the road in this here situation, this live. But she just, and like, I know the loss of her dad obviously was like heartbreaking and very hard for her. So she thinks like that's top of everybody's mind. And you have to realize like, that's not top of everybody's mind. When Malaysia is dealing with different things with her family and with her children, that's going to be top of her mind. So even if she had seen in passing that your dad had passed and y'all are no longer friends, making sure that her children have dinner is going to be taking top priority over that message.
Trying to figure out how she gonna afford to take care of 3 kids on a one person's income, and who's to say like, what type of businesses or income that Malaysia had coming in the last few years since we've seen them on Basketball Wives, considering that they wasn't on the show anymore. Them checks had dried up.
I'm sure she's still making like influencer money and stuff like that. I'm sure she's not destitute. I don't think she's destitute. I don't think that she's in a situation like she was before, but I do not think she's destitute. I just think it's different when you are used to having a check coming in the door from your children's father versus having to make sure that all of those needs are met. Like you count that money into your budget, I imagine. But now you have to like count that, literally deduct that from your budget and make sure that you have it on your own. That's a big ask. So to think that she would be focused on Brandy in any regard is ridiculous.
Just ridiculous. Like, girl, people be wrapped up in their own situations and their own life stories, even if it wasn't nothing traumatic, even if she wasn't a single mom, like she could still have very much the right to be wrapped up in her own shit. The sun does not rise and set on Brandy Maxill. It's unfortunate that she lost a parent and that she lost her father. I'm sorry for the loss, and I send love and condolences to all of her family as well as herself. But like, girl, to be out here thinking that somebody is that wrapped up into your world that they're gonna know about something so tragic happening to you, and you all are not in communication, is asinine.
And y'all don't even live in the same time zone anymore. Like,
hello, ain't that it? Like, come on. Like, even if she could have seen it on social media, you can mute people, okay, and just unfollow.
And I'm pretty sure she probably has.
Hello, like. Anyway, moving on.
Anyways, moving on. We can move on. Who else was there? Oh, Duffy and her child's father going back and forth about whether she should quit DJing. That's just so irritating me. That kind of stuff is just annoying to me. I'm just like, that can't
even be a conversation.
Correct. And I'm like, you can't get with somebody and then just be like, well, I don't like what you did before. And I don't like what you did before you got here, before I got here, and before I started bringing something to the table. So yeah, I quit.
Like, he been around the whole time. So when I was watching the replay of the last 2 weeks, she said to him that yes, we're still, or not him, she said to the audience, yes, we're still engaged. And then I thought about it and I'm like, they've been engaged for like 5 years.
Yeah, she said they've been together for a long time. She said it in the next episode. I can't remember how many years she said, but it was like a decade, like something like that. It was a long time.
So my thing is, you've seen her come into this career path and seen how much she loves it. And now all of a sudden, because you knocked sis up with a baby, okay, so now we got to quit. We got to forfeit what it is that I'm doing and the money that I'm bringing in and my passions.
Yeah. And my thing is, I feel like he's an agent, but it seems like his job is more stationary. So maybe you just need to be home with the baby when she goes out with French
he don't
on the
want to be.
weekend.
That'd be the problem right there.
You know, like, save it, sir. Like, she was already doing what she was doing, and now you over here trying to get mixy and tell her what she needs to do. Like,
tell
you
her
just
she
need
to be
to
at home.
Yeah, like this train was already moving. I could see if it was something she just started and you'd be like, you maybe don't even have the energy to do that, but this isn't something that she just started. Like, that's I don't like that. That irritated me. What else
either.
was there?
And the other thing for me too is it's like, you want to ask somebody to quit their job, then bitch, you need to be married. Because if you decide to walk and chuck the deuces, it's gonna be me and this child.
And we know, like, the industry, and honestly, it's smart for her to, even if she doesn't stay on with French, but she like keeps some gigs going. The industry keeps going without you. So if you step off the wheel, as French Montana was telling her, like
literally, he was like, you can't come back
off the wheel. Like, you can't come back. And it's not to say that she can't come back or she can't, DJ with somebody else. I'm sure she, and not even just that. I'm sure that she will DJ. She will find some other places to DJ. But it's like, having that credibility behind your name of being French Montana's DJ, that is going to go. And that's going to make it that much harder for her to get back on the wheel.
Agreed. It's just wildly selfish. That might be a topic for another day in the Manosphere collection of things.
It's incredibly selfish. What's that girl's name who was the dark-skinned one who had the show you said before?
Oh, Brooke Bailey.
Her face is incredibly different.
Is it?
I think that it is. She looks like she had a nose job, at least a nose job, and perhaps some lips done.
I know she had gained a whole bunch of weight, and when she was on the last season of Basketball Wives that she was on, she had gained weight then, and so she was trying to get her weight down.
Okay, so maybe that's what
like that might make a difference, but I know that when she was on that last season I think she was talking about how she had got a little hefty. Yeah. For her, she's not a big girl at all, but she was just saying like for her she had got a little hefty because she's like one of the OG video girls. It was her, Melissa Ford,
me that, but I don't remember her.
And another one. Well, like they claim each other. That's the only reason how I knew. Melissa Ford, Brooke Bailey, and there's another one. I think it was like only the three of them, and Melissa was the only light-skinned girl.
Yeah. I don't remember. All right, we can move on.
All right, what show we going to next?
Let's do Housewives of Beverly Hills because we have a corollary here.
What's going on?
Real quick.
So getting to watch the shows.
It's good, actually. It's been very good this season. The girls came to play. The girls are showing up. They're showing out. They're cussing each other out. And they're not taking a whole bunch of prisoners, which I enjoy. And not necessarily the cussing the out. You don't have to cuss people out for me to enjoy TV. But I enjoy the accountability and the honesty and the truthfulness has been really giving it to me. So I just wanted to say this. Well, two things. I am not getting ready to do a whole season where nobody is allowed to feel anything else because Dorit was held at gunpoint. I understand that was incredibly traumatic for her. I know that was traumatic for her. But also, so basically, Sutton had an inappropriate response when Kyle sat down and told her, like, this happened to Dorit. It was kind of like, okay, well, I had a busy day too, basically.
But was it inappropriate?
It was insensitive.
Given that she was cool with her, insensitive. Okay.
It's very insensitive. It's incredibly insensitive. If somebody says, this girl in our girl group was held at gunpoint, and your response is like, well, my shipment didn't come in on time. Like, my shipment didn't come in on. That's not an appropriate response, Sutton. It's really not.
It's like, oh, that's unfortunate. But girl, I had a hard day too. My shit did not come in.
That was sort of the tone of it. And so
Ooh, that's
basically Dorit is saying that, I mean, not Dorit, Sutton is basically saying, listen, I was held at gunpoint, or my mom was held at gunpoint when I was a kid. My dad committed suicide by gun. Guns freak me out. They stress me out. Hearing about somebody being at gunpoint was incredibly triggering to me. And I just started vomiting word vomit. That was inappropriate. I am sorry. I was triggered. And so basically they're like, no, but that's not the same. And you shouldn't feel that way. You should have just shown up for Dorit. I'm just like, you don't get to say, we're not going to say that people aren't allowed to be triggered just because Dorit was held at gunpoint. We're not doing that this season.
That part.
And then the funny thing was, somebody on Twitter ran back all the receipts. All the receipts. They went all the way back to when Lisa Vanderpump told Kyle that her brother had, taken his own life. And Kyle was basically like, well, I had a hard day too. And I was just like, see, this is what I'm talking about with you, Kyle. Because she swears up and down. She always want to call out somebody out. She was the main one saying Sutton was wrong and all of this stuff. And you are also the main one that in a very similar situation, in a very similar traumatic situation, you said something inappropriate. So I don't hear it from you.
She don't remember that. That selective memory be a bitch.
Yeah. Erica is very interesting. Seeing her repeat outfits has been funny to me. Not because she's repeating outfits, like people should repeat their outfits. It's just like you can tell she doesn't want to. And she even said, she was kind of like, normally I would sell my stuff to get new stuff, but I can't move any assets right now. So that's part of the proceedings is the people were like, no, you can't even sell nothing on Vestiaire Collective because we're putting all of that money. We're freezing that money. So don't even try to resell your clothes.
Damn.
That's all going to the victim because that was bought with ill-gotten gains. So you can try that if you want to, but it's a no, ma'am.
I'm gonna need for sis to just get her a stylist on a budget and get down to the good Pretty Little Thing, the good Fashion Nova, the good...
No.
I mean, she could do a little Farm Rio, a little Anthropology.
She need to get with Marlo down to the archive.
Hello.
Or maybe some some local consignment store will let her borrow some stuff or whatever. Anyway.
Maybe.
But yeah, it's a mess. Garcelle is gunning. Garcelle is gunning for Queen Bee status this season. I wish JoJo was here. I hope he comes next week, but she is gunning for it, baby.
The children is out.
It's fine. He's out. But man, Garcelle is about to be the Queen Bee in this thing, and I am so happy about it.
Because Garcelle her other show got canceled.
Garcelle ain't taking nothing off of nobody. She's sitting around stirring the pot just enough. She got her little side comments. We got a little caption on the bottom, like Garcelle said this. So, we love to see it. We really do love to see it.
I mean, I'm here for it. It's been a long time coming. She should have been saying shit last year when the dramatics really started.
Well, listen, Garcelle is a Black woman, Haitian woman.
Well, I mean, not even that. She was also on a syndicated television show, like daytime TV. So you gotta keep some sort of decor.
Right. No, but I'm saying also, she is the woman who came in and read the room. We've had, I think, conversations about like cultural norms and stuff on the YouTube page. I have to find the conversation and link it, but Garcelle, she read the room, and so now she knows where she fits in, and Mama is here to show up and show out. Love to see it. Love to see it. That's all I had on that.
Well,
where do you want to go
next week? I will be tuned in. Okay, she's gonna make sure.
I think it's only been 2 or 3 episodes, so you have time to catch up.
Yes. Put a ring on it, y'all.
Okay. My mom is actually watching Put a Ring on It. I talked to her for about 30 minutes about it earlier today.
Oh, what did Mama T say?
She had the same opinions that we both had. We don't like we don't. Yeah, wait, no, we don't like Shorty. She is crazy. Ken is also a little off, but we feel that his off is in reaction to Shorty being so wildly disrespectful. That cartwheel was taking her down. She noted it. High on her list.
What is going on, baby? When I tell you it was one of those looking down at your phone and you look up at the TV and you're like, what is happening?
He like spazzed out. He lost it.
I'm like, was it the alcohol?
Well, my mom said she thinks it was the alcohol, but it was stuff that he had been willing to say.
He was Geminiing, baby, because he said in the confessionals. He said in the confessionals that the Gemini was at him all night. You should have said it. You should have did. And da, 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 da. So the next morning he woke up still on one and was like, we just about to let the chopper sing.
Yeah. Once the liquor got going, I don't think there was any slowing him down.
No, he had a bottle of wine and was sucking down beer. I'm like, baby was lit.
So I hope they do not reconcile. I hope they do not speak to each other or even look in each other's direction anymore.
But y'all, the jalapeno got me there. Excuse me. His crazy ass said that he was like, he might wake up tomorrow and call her and be like, baby, I want you back. And he was like, nah, I ain't gonna do that shit.
One of them holds strong enough to be like, no, this is really bad and toxic.
She just worked my nerves so bad because once he finally was like standing up for himself and speaking his mind, then she want to hit us with the, like this whole, she acting real calm and she had this whole attitude. I'm almost convinced that these people are actors. Like, this is not real.
I don't think Ken's an actor.
I don't think Ken's an actor either, but like no. I don't know. Because it was like, girl, after you done said all this stuff about him, all these many episodes, all this long in front of all these people, and now he's finally saying these things to your face versus when you all get into therapy and you want to drag him and bash him and everything up under the sun him. Like, girl, you had it coming. You deserved every little bit of words that he gave you. And the irony is that he didn't, I don't remember him saying, he might have not said it on camera, but he never called her out of her name. He said a whole lot of choice words, but I don't remember him saying it on camera. She said that he called her bitches and hoes.
Well, the thing is, I suspect that he did because he was unhinged at that point, and we have to assume that conversation and berating went on for probably a good 30 to 45 minutes, and that's being conservative. He was deranged at that point, so I have to believe that he probably did call her
I'm glad you said
a bitch or a hoe. But I didn't feel no way about it. Like I kind of felt like she had earned that, and I hope that they really do stay apart from each other from this point forward.
Yeah. Yes, ma'am.
What else? My mom really does not like Otis. She does not like Otis like I do not like Otis.
Child, he gives sociopathic tendencies. Like he's
absolutely
he's on the not sociopathic. Well, no,
that's
psycho.
Right
I'm right. I'm right. I had to think about it. But he's like he's on the cusp. Cause I'm like, you be too calm with the switcheroos, and then but you're angry. So it's like have the emotion that you're having, express it, and move on, as opposed to the tit for tat. We're gonna go back and forth.
See, my thing with him is I feel that he does that so that he can always have an excuse or look like the good guy. He's a fake nice guy. We have a conversation about that, which I will link above as well. He is one of those.
Well said. Yeah.
Like he's one of those fake nice guys. Like, I never raised my voice at you. I never did that to you. What are you talking about? I never even raised my voice at you. How do you feel that I'm such a bad person when I don't even raise my voice at you? I don't kick you out of the house. I don't do any of this craziness. You're crazy. This is crazy. He's one of those type of guys. And it's like, yes, but in your calm, voice, you have said all manner of foolery. You have been awful in your nice, calm voice. You told her to go shower.
Because she was dirty.
Because, as my mom said, the implication was that she was a slut.
Hello? Come on, Mom.
So,
not the hiccups.
What is it giving? You're not a nice person. And that's what it gives me. Like he's trying to portray himself as like, well, I don't know what you're talking about. I'm not that type of
very annoying.
I'm not a Kenneth type of yelling and screaming type of guy. Not one of those.
Yeah, but at least you know where you stand with Kenneth.
Yes.
Them sociopathic tendencies the homeboy is displaying. And
he has a way he can turn stuff around too. To make
all the time.
She's the problem. He does
all
that little trickaroo, that little switch a lot.
He's a master manipulator. Gaslight you down.
He is. He really is. And as far as Shay and Alfonso, my mom was like, okay. Are you okay?
I'm fine. But I was just like, ooh, I must have got a really hot jalapeno because I ate that whole slice like nothing. I don't never have issues, but now my lips is tingling.
Okay.
Well,
my mom, regarding Shay and Alfonso, she said that Shay is there because she likes the lifestyle.
Hello.
And my mom also thought that their house was too small for all of the luxury that they be having on their back. She was like, I was expecting it to be massive, some estate. No. And it was just a regular nice house, house. But
the gag be in Atlanta, them regular nice homes nowadays cost you almost $500,000.
Sure. Sure. But I don't think that wasn't giving new construction. And this was filmed like a year ago. So it's possible that this is a regular Atlanta 300, 350 that a person who works the 9 to 5 can afford. You know, like, this is not giving entertainment industry money or lifestyle. And that's why I was telling, I've said it here before, and I was telling my mom, it's like, that's why I call him Faux Rick Ross, because he enjoys being adjacent.
Rick Ross adjacent.
He enjoys being adjacent to the actual luxury and the actual industry. However, he is not there. He is not there because he lives in a regular house. Rick Ross does not. He may be able to put Shay in the nice Gucci boots that my mom also pointed out. She saw the Gucci boots at the end. The thigh highs, she saw those. So he might be able to do that, but she might have to, sell him to Vestiaire at the end. I don't know. Something just happened. Wait, something just happened to StreamYard. Did you cut your feed? Can you turn it back on so it's not just me on the screen? Thank you. You can, there you go.
BRB, keep talking.
So, so Shay and Alfonso, I think they will stay together. It looked like Alfonso was, in his defense, trying to do a little bit of something and having some sort of conversation with his child's mother. It also seemed from that conversation, as far as I am concerned, that they have recently been canoodling, probably within the last 6 months. Like, maybe Shay thought it was some strays that he was, messing around with while he was on the road. But I get the feeling the baby mama is still very invested, because he's been with Shay for 3 years, and the baby mama was very much still there, very emotional, and very much still invested in the whole situation as far as I was concerned. So, and seemed very emotional about it. Like, if you had a 3-year break from somebody who you've not been seeing, who you haven't been sleeping with, who you haven't, you know what I'm saying, aside from child pickup and all of that stuff, if you had a 3-year break from that person, you would not still be in your feelings like that.
Child, he was knocking her off.
Absolutely. And my mother agreed with that as well.
Absolutely was knocking her off. But at the same time, it's just kind of like, girl, what What you was doing, sis? He'd have moved a whole woman in his house. Your child had to have told you it's a lady there.
Yeah.
So, like, what's going on? You just thought he was gonna come back? Everybody just liked the lifestyle. That's what it sounded like.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. So that's pretty much it on Put a Ring on It. Shall we move on? Oh, go ahead.
I think that Charlena and Otis are gonna crash and burn very soon. I think that last episode where they were like foretelling, Dr. Nicole was talking to Otis, and basically they were like foretelling that like this is not gonna work out. This is going to be a demise because like, girl, what's going on, boo? Why is it that you're so convinced that you all are gonna get married and that this is it? Like, Otis is crazy.
Yeah, my mom seemed to think that they probably will get married, but they absolutely should not.
They absolutely should not, because he seems very verbally abusive, on that border, like I said.
No, a lot of...
It's a mess.
I listen to a lot of podcasts about nonsense and cults and stuff.
Did you say cults?
Yeah, cults. I love cult stuff. I enjoy it.
Listen, we need to have a whole conversation about that on the podcast, please. Listen, I'm into it. Let's do it.
How did we get here? Any manner of cult, I've probably watched at least 1 or 2 episodes.
I'm so interested.
Me and my coworkers watch it together sometimes. We'll be like, "Oh, did you hear about this one?"
What about the lady with the high hair that was on the HBO? What the hell was that documentary called? It was a church cult. And like her husband was like a pseudo famous like C-list actor, but they died in like a plane crash. But it's a church cult on HBO Max. Okay, so y'all get down in the comments when you watching the replay and put the name in there. I'll probably find it beforehand, but just put the name in there for the people that's watching it with you.
Tell me about that one. I love the church cult.
I feel like it's all
Scientology has had me in a chokehold just watching all of that stuff. When they were doing Escaping Scientology, those extreme polygamous cults, I love that stuff. Anyways, all that to say,
aside, but it's all right.
Otis is like charismatic, like one of those crazy cult leader guys, which I also believe to be sociopaths. Or like I've watched stuff on like Charles Manson and stuff like that, and they're like, he had a really high IQ. Like you have to be smart to be able to coerce people into doing this kind of stuff.
Hello, you got to have some sort of smart about you.
He has that charismatic, like sociopathic cult leader sort of quality about himself.
Oh, it's another one on HBO with another guy who was, out there with the cults, and I can't remember the name of that either. Damn.
My favorite is definitely the polygamous ones. Those are fascinating to me. There used to be a show on Lifetime called Escaping Polygamy, and they would have to do all this stuff to get those girls out of there to keep them from marrying their cousins. Oh my God.
Ooh, God. Yeah.
My God.
Do that. As soon as we get off this live, I'm gonna find these documentaries that I was watching on HBO Max.
I mean, not enjoy it because a lot of times it's sad and it's
interesting.
Some sort of sad something or the other, but it is fascinating.
It is. I'm not gonna sit here and act like it ain't. So
all right,
anyway,
let's go. Let's finish this. Love Marriage Huntsville.
Girl, Kimmy is still my favorite, but it was just a whole lot of like for me. Kimmy don't miss in the sense that she sticks to the facts. Like when she told Kiki that, like, baby, it was on camera.
Yeah.
Kimmy
and Kiki was kind of like, Kimmy was trying to tell her like it was the company, and Kiki was very adamant that it didn't matter because it was the truth, and Kimmy was like, no, it does matter. It's the company, and you're over. Yeah, and she was like, you're over talking me, and you don't even hear what I'm saying. I'm saying that even if it's true, it's the people with whom you're talking that's the problem. It's not the information that you're sharing.
Say it again. For the people in the back, like Kiki.
So Kimmy don't miss. And even when Kiki was like, "Oh, I want to pull you to the side because I just feel like it was you," and Kimmy was like, "I'm trying to be in a better place with Tisha," so I was not getting ready to not tell
be
her
a part and not tell her,
and be
hello.
a part. And like, I don't know if you thought that because we weren't cool that I was getting ready to pile on, but I'm not doing that because Kimmy's just a real one, and I love her. She's my favorite, and this is maybe not nice to say, but I would also like to point out that she is from the Mid-Atlantic region. She is not from Huntsville, so she has a different.
You can hear that accent slide out every now and again in some of them phrases. Okay,
just that Baltimore gets out of her sometimes.
It sure does. Kimmy, like, don't get it misconstrued. What Kiki say? Misconstrued.
Misconstrued. The girls love a misconstrued. Okay, the word is misconstrued.
Baby, that ain't it. But you did
the
that.
Girls love a misconstrued. I've heard rappers even say that. I don't remember what song. They be like, "Don't get it misconstrued." Really? That's not even a word.
Thing. I just don't understand. It's a lot of us down here in the South, below down here in the South.
Yeah,
I just don't understand it. Let's get on over to Stormy and Kiki, since we're here with Kiki. Stormy's point, I see it. Sis, I'm with you. Yeah. I'm with you when you write. However, there is a way in which to do things. You could have been like, "Oh, hey, girl, yeah, I remember you. How you doing? You doing all right? Good." And then exit. Like, it ain't that difficult.
I didn't like what Stormy did. That got on my nerves. It was just
so weird. Like, it almost seemed like she had a little bit of an edible and it hit right in that moment.
It was just like that. It was like that was such a weird reaction. If you don't fool with her, just again, y'all know me. I got that one wave where I don't really fool with you, but it's just the that wave that we've discussed here before.
Andrew will quickly be like,
with the nod. That's the I don't fool with you. It's like, so I feel like Stormy could have done that and just ushered Kiki off to the side, and it would have been sufficient to get her point across.
It didn't even have to be a conversation. It literally could have just been, "Oh yeah, I remember you. Hey girl," and then exit. You didn't even have to ask how she was doing.
Because ultimately, Stormy is not friends with Tisha either. So it's like, I understood what she was saying of like, I don't fool with people who don't seem like they have good loyalty issue. You know what I'm saying? They got loyalty issues.
Screwed up. And that's what basically she was getting down to. Got it.
That's what she was getting down to, of like, you have integrity issues as it relates to me. So I'm not going to get but so close to you. And I feel like she could have accomplished that without what she did, and she didn't even get that across. Really, it was very silly what she looked dumb, to be honest. So,
and
that's how I felt about it.
Because I'm like, you can sit here and have a whole conversation and post up with Destiny and talk about it and say you don't hold grudges and so on and so forth, and y'all really went at each other, but then you can't even have like a 2-minute conversation with Kiki at a function that she at.
It don't add up.
Like, girl, that don't make no sense. It was
mushy. And like you said, maybe she had an edible, or maybe her drink was kicking in at that time or whatever. But
girl, I'm telling you, that looked like all of a sudden it was like, oh shit, I am high.
Yeah. Listen, I got it.
Hello? All of a sudden it hit and you be like,
ooh, okay. What do I do now?
When I tell you them edibles be sneaking up on you, cuz
it's like, where is the closest seat? That's why she was like,
went and beeline to a chair.
It's like, Stormy, it's fine. We understand, but it was a lot.
That's the story we are convinced with. Okay, Stormy, she had a little bit of an edible and it hit right in that moment with Kiki. It was right on time. It was right on time, because even when sis was talking, Stormy was sitting there talking about, "Ooh, my feet."
Yeah, it was very. Yeah, you're right. It was very like the edible hit. Okay, so what else was there in this episode? Mel changed her name. her mom was there. Martell is finally going to get his license. He's hired a virtual tutor.
He hired a COVID tutor, child. That's what that is.
And then Tisha and the family, the Scott family, sit down.
Oh, with Kimmy and what's his name? Maurice, and then Marceau and Tisha.
And Marceau don't be right that much to me, but broke clock.
I mean,
is
right twice a day.
So when he was he was saying, that he has to protect his family and he's not going to engage in stuff that makes his family unsafe or feel unsafe or his wife feel unsafe. I was like, I actually get behind that.
I'm like, are you sure?
I mean, to an extent. I mean, I think he means from outside factors. He's still terrible, but from outside factors.
I'm not asking if you are sure. I'm thinking like, are you sure as in Marceau? Like, are you sure?
No,
a lot of these situations you be creating.
No, I totally got what you meant. And yeah, I agree that he does create. That's what I'm saying. I think it's more so from outside forces than it is from him. Like, he's perfectly fine to make her feel unsafe as it relates to them one-on-one, but he's not willing to let Miss Wanda come in and wreck shop, which I understand because she be doing the most. And we saw on the preview that obviously Miss Wanda has also gone and spread all of these lies around around Tisha's family, and now they are ready to square up.
Oh, the whole family from the other side of the tracks.
Mm-hmm. You know who I have not seen enough of this season? Miss Marlene. I want to see Miss Marlene.
Oh, Martell.
I hope that
Martell saw her when she was in there 2-5. Was that this season?
Yeah, it was early this season. It was, because remember, now he's about to launch the line, do his Atlanta launch of the line. So I hope that he swings by Miss Marlene's house on his way out of town so that we can get to see the doll. She is absolutely my favorite mom on this show.
Miss Marlene said, keep me out the mess when it was last season at the picnic. Miss Van, Mama Van, and Miss Wanda was about to have a tete-a-tete, a ponderosa.
Miss Marlene said, all right, I gotta go to work.
Miss Marlene was like, all right, I gotta go. That's my time.
Miss Marlene gave them my wave. Look, I gotta go to work. Like, I'm not doing this with y'all. I'm not doing this with y'all.
She said, nope, not my circus, not my monkeys. I'm out.
Not my clowns, not my monkeys, not none of that. So, what else? Was there anything else this episode?
No, I mean, I feel like this episode was super boring. I'm just like, I'm a little stuck on last week's episode in only the scene with Marceau and Tisha in the car, and she was crying, and then he proceeded to like have like tears that we never saw. I'm just kind of like, he always is talking about, like, at the dinner table this past week, he's talking about like, we're good, I'm trying to protect my home, and so on and so forth, but like, your wife keeps asking you, even if all these things outside are happening, she's affected. So what are you protecting?
He is. And I think that was part of what he was saying at the dinner table, the Scott family dinner with Maurice and Kimmy. I think that's what he was getting at. And
like, what are you protecting?
Again, I'm not Team Marceau, because I don't think he does enough to make Tisha secure. I think he is very much one of those, well, you should know better, and you should know that about me, and that I wouldn't do that to you. So I'm not even going to dignify that with a response. He's one of those type of people.
But gives me, the two of them give me that he has stepped out before.
Yes.
And she knows about that. And so that is why she's because granted, okay, she could have been insecure prior. Right?
No. You're getting there.
This whole time without him.
No, this is the nail on the head.
It gives me that there has been infidelity in the past that she's been made aware of and confronted him about it. And now she has an extra heightened level of insecurity around her dynamic with her husband.
Yes. And I'm going to tell you why. There was a housewife on New Jersey, Jennifer Aiden. And everybody was just kind of like, she just seems extra whatever. And it came out.
Oh, the
Margaret
lawyer.
brought it out.
The lawyer, right?
Not the lawyer. The one
Oh
that's
no!
married to
Yes,
surgery.
she's married to the doctor. The
And it seemed like
obnoxious
she was
one.
always like super sensitive and like attacking anybody whose marriage had infidelity, attacking Margaret because her marriage was the result of infidelity, and just anything with infidelity just really got under her skin.
Yeah, Margaret.
It got under her skin, right? And I think Margaret's mom, same thing. But Margaret's been married for like 15, 20 years at this point. I think that she was saying basically the marriage was over already and they just hadn't moved on yet, basically. But all that to say, she was really like just hard on Margaret. And Margaret actually was the one that brought out that her husband had an affair. And that is why she was like that. And so as the season progressed, I'm still not done with New Jersey. I know the reunion has already happened or whatever. But as the season progressed, she was just like, I just buried it all down. Like I buried it away from my family. We decided we were moving on. We had young children. I wasn't leaving. And I just buried it, but I never dealt with it. And so
it then spewed out on this show, sis?
Exactly. So it spewed out this season now that Margaret has brought it up, and all her feelings about it have spewed out all over the place. And that's what Tisha gives me. That's why I was like, nope, stay right there, because that's exactly what Tisha gives me. Like Marceau, and honestly, they have been married so long and they got married so young. I believe it. I believe it has happened.
Yeah, like because I'm like, she just doesn't. I could see that she could be a little insecure on regular stuff, but I feel like it's like heightened times 10.
Definitely. I agree with you. But at the same time, I do feel like like you said, it's more to it, because I'm almost like Marceau. If he's never stepped out and he's never cheated on her, which is debatable at this point, but if he's never cheated on her, then I feel like at this point in their relationship, she shouldn't be distracted by all of this nonsense that Miss Wanda brings up. And the fact that she is distracted,
you should be able to be like, mama, like, chill.
Right. And she takes everything Miss Wanda says and runs with it.
Right back to her husband.
Right back to Marceau, like, I need you to tell me that this is not true.
But like, so I don't know. Well, I'm sure you saw it because like everybody been talking about it. But apparently there was a live that took place where Tisha was on live and he was sitting next to her, and like somebody asked in the comments if he likes big girls or something like that, or whatever, something to that effect about liking big girls, or if he ever messed with big girls. Or basically it implied liking big girls and also stepping out on your marriage, right?
Right.
And so he was just like, to answer your question, no. But there was two questions in the one. So the stepping out on the marriage part, it wasn't what he was answering. Because then Tisha was like, okay, no to what? Like, what are you saying no to? Right. So then he was like, I don't like big girls.
and also like again, okay, but I feel like that's but also I feel like that's Marceau playing that game again, where that's what I'm saying. But I feel like that's him playing that game again of saying, hey, but he could have categorically denied all of that. He could have just been like, we've been married for 18 years or however many years, 14 years, 15, I think it is. We've been married for 15 years.
Probably 16 at this point.
You're the only woman that I've been with since those 15 years. So no, I don't like any other type of women but what I have. That's an easy explanation for that entire question, but he left that open purposely. And I feel like he does that to toy with her, and that's part of the reason why she's insecure.
I'm like, that shit is not funny. And then the thing that still irritates me is she said it on the live. She's now said it on this show that he gonna see the real Tisha. Girl, where you been for 15 years?
Well, I don't fault her for that. I think that she's probably in a better situation financially. We know that she's the majority shareholder of Scalt, and you know, she is in a better situation than she was 15 years ago. So she had an invested interest in being quiet and being at home. Now she got her stuff together and she don't have that same interest. Happens every day. Happens every day.
I'm like, sis, he even
Same
said it,
thing
like,
happened
if
to
we were
Melody.
married all this long, but the thing is, they never claimed to not know one another.
What do you mean?
They never, that basically when Tisha is saying he gonna see the real Tisha, that's an implication that he doesn't know all of who she is. And while I have complete understanding and grace for the fact that we are ever evolving people, period, like that piece of you, like, you know, basically it sounds like, you know, she don't take no shit, so on and so forth, whatever, you know, cool, got it. But like at some point he should have already seen her. I don't know. That's just that's my take on it.
I mean, maybe. I just think that when you have a lot to lose, you walk carefully. And I think that he was in so much of control, which is why she probably fought back so hard about working, about getting her broker's license, about whatever else she was doing. Because at the end of the day, they got married out of college. I don't know if Marcel was a little bit older, but
I don't think he is. I think they're the same age.
That's what I'm saying. Like, she got pregnant and they got married right out of college. So, and had 3 small kids back to back. So it's like,
but my thing is, if he wanted to, like,
he might not have known the real her. She might not even have known the real her.
Right. That's what I'm saying. I can get with you on the ever evolving person, right? But this idea that in my frustration and anger with you over things of this magnitude, because remember, we're saying that we believe that there was some sort of infidelity earlier on in the relationship that she was aware of, and so now she's hypersensitive to it. There's no way that you don't show your person that you see every day in your house that piece of you. I just don't.
No, I disagree. I disagree. I think that in these households, these type of situations, you can make it work. And like I said, maybe she wasn't in touch with the real her either. Like the real her. If people say it all the time, they lose themselves with their children, they're running around, they're doing all the things. She came from a single parent home. She didn't want to give her kids that. So she tucked it away and she moved forward. And now she may be in touch with some of those feelings as her kids are getting older and she's finding more independence. It is possible that she just tucked all that stuff away, which is the situation, obviously, that I was talking about earlier with Jennifer Aiden on Real Housewives of New Jersey. It's like the people you can just tuck things away.
I mean, I'm not denying that, but like, I don't know, because I mean, I don't know.
Maybe you can't, but other people can.
We're belaboring it all.
No, I'm saying like there's certain personality types that would not be able to do that for a long period of time. I don't think that you could do that for a long period of time.
You know me, friend. No.
But I'm saying people do it every day.
Hands and feet.
But that's what I'm saying. People do it every day, and they're in the South where a lot of women are just like, "Oh, you got married young. He's gonna step out. He'll come back home as long as he comes back home." The same Miss Marlene conversation. They'll come back home.
Oh, well, Miss
They
Marlene
come back home.
Tell him that, tell Melody
like that stuff. That's a part of that culture. So the fact that even if he did step out, the fact that she would stay around and just suppress all that stuff for years, that does not surprise me.
I just, no.
And she's a housewife. She doesn't have a career. Think about it. Tisha never did. She didn't have a career before this show. She was a housewife. Our grandmothers did it. We talked about this.
Listen, I'm picking up what you're putting down. I just, at this stage of life, I'm going to tell y'all my age. Hold on, sis, don't do that. But at this stage of life, I just don't imagine myself to be able to just not bring all of who it is that I am and be in union with somebody else.
Totally agree.
I think that just goes against everything that is like you, like everything that is like humanely, innately you.
I agree with you.
I totally understand like being in situations where things happen and you just kind of swallow it and you move forward or whatever the case may be, or you figure out how to navigate the things within yourself. But the idea that my person isn't gonna know the real me and vice versa, that is why the fuck we here. Like, but anyway.
I agree with you. Anyways,
are we doing
anything else?
Or are we at the end?
No, I think we're at the end. I'm going to ask you, what are you curious about?
So, look at Candy trying to take my thing. No, I'm just kidding.
Yes.
Actually, I am curious about human design. And I have been kind of teaching myself. There's this whole, like, you know, me and the esoteric stuff. So I'll be reading about and researching stuff about that. And there's like this whole science around human design. And there's I think it's like 5 different types of personality types. So like there's the projector, the generators, the manifestors, the manifesting generators, and then there's another one. I don't remember what it is. But basically it kind of gives you like a breakdown of like how you receive and understand things, like how you communicate in the world, how you know, identify via be it intuitive, or be it like you got to have like gut instincts, or if it's a logical way of processing for you. It's pretty interesting. There is an app, I think it's called My Design. If you're interested in checking it out, it's available for iOS and for Androids, and you can download it and get like the basic information. And then if you want more, you can pay for it. It's like $5. But yeah, what are you curious about?
Well, drop that down in the description box. I am curious about how to make the way I am living now extend for the rest of my life.
Child, I'm trying to get there.
Again, maybe one day after this is all over, this season is over of my life, I will come and have a candid conversation about it. I hope to do that. Hey, Ray, we're almost done. We're almost done. But hopefully I'll be able to have a candid conversation about that at some point in the future. But not today, because I'm still in the middle.
Totally all right. All right, y'all. Thanks for joining us. Of course, follow us on all of our social media and drop some comments. Let us know what you thought, what shows you were loving, what shows you hated, and what else you're watching, even though it is going into summertime. Check out blackandcurious.com, and we will see you in the next video. Bye.
Bye. Bye, Gabe.